Son of a gun. My name's Butch Brown. That's how you catch them on the new Swimbait Underground Golden Shiner. Due to be released around the beginning of the Fred Hall show, about a week or two. And don't forget to see me tonight on Cast and Crank. My name's Butch Brown. That's how you do it, brother. This is Monday morning. See ya. Have fun at work, doctor.
The thing with me is I was there at the cutting edge of the HUD. Okay? I was the first guy to own the first 100, maybe 120 of the first 200 that were ever made, and then they were made for 6 months. Because I already saw the potential and I was kicking the crap out of them, you know. And then that worked out really good for me without even trying. And then I fell into the Deps 250, you know. I mean, what better place to be in the swimbait world than to be attached to the two biggest double-digit bass baits ever created to this day. And I've talked with some of my friends from SU about the next generation. And somewhere along the line, and it might be every 10 years or whatever, but somebody's going to make another game changer. And we're just trying to figure out what that game changer is, because it seems like once a glide bait comes out, once a paddle tail bait comes out, then everybody wants to sort of knock off what that guy's done, different shape, whatever. Then the HUD comes out, then everybody sort of wants to knock off that look and then try to copy a tail that does it. Somebody is thinking out of the box someplace, and they're going to make a game changer. It might be me, it might be somebody else. I have ideas on what's going on, but you know, there's always another generation of baits, but right now, this bait right here is definitely top dog, you know, throughout the United States and even in Japan. Two colors that are coming out this year that are already out, and this is a prototype that's not out on the market. This one here is the one that's out on the market, but this one has just a regular finish on it. This one here is a little more transparent and has the gloss on the inside. I chose this one as the first one to be released, but I sort of like the kokanee color, which is this one right here, and it's mainly a Northern California type of a trout. I'm sure it's everywhere, but we like kokanee, and I like the purple hue and stuff. But this bait came out right after Christmas this year, and when I get ready to do my Fred Hall promo, which is in about a week from now, well, just the other day, I caught like a 10.5, 11-pound bass on this bait. That'll be on video for the promo and be all set up. Kokanee will be at the Fred Hall show for sale. If you guys are interested, there'll be other colors to come after this, you know, each year. Comes in the 175 also. As far as modifying them, I do modify them myself. You don't have to, but some people like a slower sink, some people like a faster sink. I'll be honest with you, I tune baits for people, and I do it for nothing almost. All I want is the shipping in return, you know, and then maybe if you want to buy me a beer, you send in a couple of bucks with that. But the first couple of years I did it, I had people just send me the baits and I'd tune them because my name's on the bait and I'm proud of that. So if you have a problem with it, I'm going to fix it. I'm not the manufacturer, okay? I'm a representative, but yet out of my pocket, I'm going to fix your bait. Well, I did it the first 2 years, and it cost me about $3,500 in shipping fees, right out of my own pocket. And I finally said, you know what? It's finally time. Maybe you pay for the shipping in return, 10 bucks. I'll fix your bait, what's ever wrong with it, whether it's the hinges, rate of fall. Sometimes I'll put new foil on it for people. Some of them come crooked and, you know, where they let it down and the tail's all bent like this, and clean them up for you, and then I send them right back and I test every one of them at the lake. Personally, I swim them, I do everything before they're packed up and shipped back to you. So if my name's on it and you can get a hold of me through via message from Swimbait Underground. I'll, you know, when I come across it, I'll try to take care of you. Sometimes I don't check the website every day, so if you don't get an answer right away, don't be bummed out, because eventually I'm going to see it. I can tell you right now that one of the best ways to fish the bait that's been real successful lately, and actually, you know, I've got some fish on video. You throw this thing out, get uphill, throw off your points, let it sink down. If you don't feel like you're going to lose it, you know, if it gets stuck, you got to be able to get it out, or you just, that's it. But I let it sink to the bottom, and then I just get ready and I slow roll it and I snap it to get the cadence down. And then I just slow roll that thing down there in that 20 feet of water, 25 feet of water, up into the 15 feet of water. And those fish have never seen a bait that swims like this down that deep, you know. And a lot of guys ask me to weight them up heavy, because the very first depths that came out were heavier than the ones that are out now. Okay, the first ones had 2 25-gram weights in them. The second generation, which is the SS, has a 25 and a 17. And then these are 29 and 20, but this is a different body on this one. If you weight it too heavy, you lose all that action. You know, it's no longer a bait that sits in front of the fish. You know, when you slow it down and it does its thing, it just goes like this, and you don't want that. So if you can be patient enough and get it out there, and be patient enough to let it sink, and the fluorocarbon helps, then you can work that bait properly down there and then just stop it. And the thing's just going to shoot out and glide and just sort of sit there in their face, and then you're going to bring it back. And it's very, very successful with big fish. Very successful. But it's something you got to be disciplined, and you got to be patient. You know, most guys just want to cast and go, cast and go, cast and go. That works, but if you really want to get down and get into some really bigger fish and stuff, you got to be very patient. That's just sort of my way, the Butch Brown way. And like I said, I don't know all the answers to everything. You got to go out and you got to read your water, and you got to figure it out. You got to figure out your seasons, your wind direction. Each day you need to learn something out there. You know, no matter what you do, you gotta learn something each season, so the next season you can apply it. And if that doesn't work, you figure out another solution, and you keep going and you keep going. And if you get frustrated, you go home, you take care of business at home, and then you do good things, and then you go back when you least expect it, and you have great success. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to catching double-digit bass, I catch them when there's no moon visible during the day. It's usually either just coming up, just going down, or it's non-existent. I do my best fishing for the biggest fish between 2 o'clock, or between 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the afternoon are my prime times. I don't need to be there first thing in the morning, but I am, because eventually, sometimes it does happen. But most of the time it happens between 9 and 2 o'clock. You know, not that often do I catch fish at the end of the day that are giant fish. It's always in that time zone. And to be honest with you, I like calm days. And if there's anything, I like just a little bit of wind. I don't need a lot of wind. You know, I need to be able to throw that bait and work it against the wind. I don't want to fish it with the wind. You know, to me, in my mind, everything you do is a confidence thing, you know, so you have to put the odds in your favor that gives you the most confidence. I don't like to use my sonar when I'm swim baiting, because it makes that ticking noise. I'm not big on that. You know, when I'm serious about it, everything is shut off. I don't touch the trolling motor while I'm retrieving my lure. You know, my 250, my HUD, you know, I make the cast, and I try to make the cast to where I'm not on the trolling motor, because every time you hit that trolling motor, I'm sure they feel something down there, or they hear something. You know, not every trolling motor is quiet, you know, and if you got a follower coming in and he's behind the bait, and you tap that trolling motor, a lot of times they're gone, you know. I like to get those followers, they come up behind it, you know, coming in behind it, and they look a little hot. Well, then I like to get a little funky with them before I run out. I detect them as far back as I can, then I'll give them the old, you know, swoosh around, and then when they start to light up a little bit, then I keep going, and then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You can't be discouraged, you have to just keep going, but you got to change it up a little bit, and usually you can tell just by their reaction if they're going to light up on the bait. And sometimes I've had them where I just stop the bait and the bait just starts to sink like this, and they just come up right behind it. They get even closer and they just, that's it, it's done. And if you use the Gamakatsu hooks that I use, they're super sharp, super thin. It'll catch that little piece in the corner that's pretty tough, and you can still land them. Those are just a few things about the bait and the history of the bait. I can't say enough about it. It's just something special that's happened in my lifetime, and I'm, you know, happy to share it. See you, Doctor.